sorry to interrupt. I did not know you were an actor as well.
Oh yeah. So I act and I am model. I do ads.
Guys, actor, model, DJ, karaoke jockey, more to come.
No. You know, stereotypical way of treating a DJ. अरे ये तो गाना बजाता है, band वाला है. Like that's, and I'm telling you, I still notice it. I really hope people, you know, learn or kind of accept what you're covering across your channels, right? Because I think it's so important for the society as a whole to start accepting alternate careers.
Shift of DJ and a karaoke jockey happened?
So it happened about a year or two into being a karaoke jockey, and then I realized that, you know, I'm doing this, but I also enjoy music so much that I want to be able to play this music and not be dependent on other people singing this music or songs to make people enjoy. As a DJ, I can just go up on stage and play the music I want to play.
You know, honestly, what I found very interesting about your story is you've been very modest in saying कि luckily ये हुआ, luckily वो हुआ, luckily ऐसे हुआ, ये मिल गया. But then how I'm seeing it is you were just so open and just trying to get to a point where you enjoy it.
I think I was prepared. I think better put is that I was prepared to grab that opportunity when I got it. At the end of the day, if I didn't have knowledge about music, which is very, very important as a karaoke jockey and as a DJ.
So Martin, I want to know a lot of how-tos of this career now. So I'm going to shoot a lot of questions. Firstly, I am very curious to know, how do you gauge your target audience interest?
I still have my own style of music and I position myself as a particular DJ. So for example, I love playing hip hop. I love playing house and commercial music. Right, so I've positioned myself over the last few years as a DJ who does this kind of music. So if I'm going to another city, people there expect this kind of music from me. But I also will have a percentage of the crowd that still wants to listen to only what they want to listen to. That is where my homework comes into play. My research and my homework of getting these songs and getting the right mixes to play to this particular audience. The other part of this is you marketing yourself and you branding yourself as an artist. At the end of the day, there are so many artists around you, right? There are so many DJs. And you have to be able to stand out amongst 100 DJs. And you need to create your own style, you need to create your own brand. And that is what you also need to work towards. And earlier, I know off camera, we were having this discussion about how much social media plays a part in this, right? Man, I hate spending time on it. I hate spending time on social media because for me, I'd rather be spending time on my own music. I'd rather be doing that, and it's draining.
But sadly, these days you need to be out there on social media, right?
Of course, it is.
And how I see it is, I don't know a single person in my life who does not enjoy music.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys some sort of music.
Yeah.
But what my question is how does one decide that whether A, he or she has the skill to become one, or they can, you know, progress into becoming one? Is that the only skill that is required? Be a music lover, or what all skills you think are important?
I enjoy music. Now, can I perform in front of people and can I make people enjoy my music? That's the question, right? Because you can enjoy, you can love all the kind of music that you want. in terms of skill, you can always learn. It's a technical grasp of things that you need, which you can do by going to academies. So there are a lot of DJ academies across the country now where you can go and learn how to become a DJ.
So you have degree or just diploma or certification courses?
So there are certification courses. There are sound engineering degrees and diplomas, but not for a DJ course, as far as I know. They're just certifications from academies that do this. There's no university as such that recognizes being a DJ as a career, right?
That's quite sad.
It's really sad. It's really sad because I'll tell you, this is one thing about society that I've noticed. A lot of people equate a career with money. Any job that you do has to start from being passionate about that particular job. Money will ultimately come. Obviously, when I started off, I was earning peanuts, right? But now I'm at a point in my career where I can demand a certain amount for the growth that I've had in my career.
So how does one actually progress in this career? Like engineering का पता होता है कि this, then senior manager, then manager, and there's a set hierarchy.
Yeah.
How does it is for?
So with being a DJ, there are multiple paths of going about this. One is obviously you learn from an academy, and when you're learning at an academy, there are a lot of academies that also guide you with becoming a DJ, right? For example, there's an academy here called the Music School, and I'm very closely associated with them. They're very close friends of mine who run this, and I think they do a great job with grooming DJs. That they also will tell you that, okay, you know what, I know you've grown to this level in terms of skill, in terms of learning. So what I will do for you is I will place you in a club as a resident DJ. Okay. And as a resident DJ, you are essentially working at the same club throughout the month. It's like having a 9-to-5 job, except that it's a different, it's in the night or actually early evening, right? So you join that club and you're performing only at that club. So your learning curve is very different in this scenario, because here you are constantly exposed to people every day of the week, right? Every day of the week you're meeting different kind of people. On a Tuesday, you might not find people who are coming out to party, but on a weekend you will find people who want to party. Things like this, when you start off as a resident DJ, you learn all of this. Right? And you immediately know how to read people then. Right. Yeah. The other flip side to this obviously is being a freelancer. I think I started as a freelancer, but what I also did was I maintained a balance. So all Wednesday nights were at one particular venue. So I created a property there. I created an IP there. All my Thursday nights are at one particular venue. So I've created my IP there. So I know every Thursday night I'm playing at this particular venue if I'm in the same city. And on the other nights, I'm freelancing. So
You're still freelancing?
I still freelance, and I balance.
Guys, if you are in Bangalore and if you want to groove to Martin Dsouza's music, then you are every Wednesday where?
At Watson's Indranagar.
Watson Indranagar every Wednesday, and every Thursday
Every Thursday I'm at Happy Brew, Kormangla. Every Sunday I'm at Gawky Goose. And Friday, Saturdays I freelance, so I do different venues. But I only DJ. So I do a DJ set there. Here I do a mixed set, but there I only DJ.
Karaoke and DJ.
Yeah.
I have a doubt. So let's say I am genuinely very passionate about music and I am into considering this as my career path. So how do I go about it? What I have gauged is, one, I could get enrolled into a school or a DJ academy. Then what next? Is starting the career with freelance the right way, or doing a job somewhere, or how does my path look like?
Okay, so there are two ways to go about it. One is, of course, like I said, you join as a resident DJ. The other path is to become a producer. So you make your own music, right? So you make your own music, and there are a lot of great artists out there who make their own music. So you make your own tracks, you reach out to a record label, or you reach out to people on social media and keep putting your songs out. And as in when people know your songs or listen to your songs and they enjoy your songs, people start calling you to do events, because they know that people are familiar with your song, and if I book you as an artist, people will come to listen to you.
Right. So I have another important question. I think a lot of people would want to know the cost. Like whenever you're learning something, I mean, you invest some money. So I want to understand how does the investment looks like with the DJ career as against the return of investment.
Okay. So, I mean, this is as any other job in the world. Even you being an engineer is the same thing, right? You're investing in a college, you're studying that much, and then you're joining a place and getting a salary. But obviously with DJing as a career, it's still very not accepted as a full-fledged career across the country because of society. People don't look at it as a full-time job. It's not the only career that's looked upon or frowned upon like this. There are a lot of other careers. But
all the careers that are showcased on Finding My.
exactly. Which is why, when you reached out to me and I told you the same thing that, hey, you know what, I resonate with this because if I had an avenue like this, or if I had a place where I could just go and look at a video and be like, okay, you know what, now I have an idea of how to go about this, or have an idea of what needs to be done, it would have been so grateful. I didn't at that particular point of time, so I learned it the hard way. So in terms of investment, right, if I join a DJ academy, an academy would, a course like this would cost anywhere between, I would say, 30 to 40,000 rupees. Again, the costs will differ at different academies depending on who your mentors are or who's teaching you and what they're offering you. But I'm saying on an average, this is what it costs. Your course can go up to about, say, 3 months, where you're doing classes, 3 or 4 times a week, or a weekend course where you do a few hours on a Saturday, Sunday, if you have another job or you're studying somewhere. So obviously, you have to also practice what you're doing. Now, the place where you learn obviously has a studio where you can go and practice. Okay. But if you're home and you need to practice, you also need a controller, mini version of a club player, like a DJ player. So you can invest, that can cost up to 25,000-30,000 rupees. You can get a decent controller, which you have to plug into a laptop. So you're going to invest in a laptop as well. It's not necessary that you have a laptop, but you do need a laptop to download your songs. So I have subscriptions to music websites from where I buy my music. Now that is an additional cost. But all of this, you scale up according to how your career is scaling up, right? So I subscribe to certain websites. Some websites cost me 5,000, 10,000 rupees a month. So that's my cost that I'm paying every month. So this is a lot of things that people don't see, right? As an artist, when they book you, they're like, "Arey, what? You just have to come and play songs, right?" But I'm buying these songs.
So when you start as a DJ, do you need to own all of these technical equipments, or you could just rent it out, or wherever you're performing, is it provided? It's a very new question.
No, it's a very practical question. A lot of clubs do have equipment.
Okay.
A few don't. So you can be lucky and land a job in a place where they have the equipment, like standard, like the club standard equipment. And because you're playing there regularly, you obviously learn on the job. Right, so you learn how to play that on that particular equipment. But if you don't have that, and if the club expects you to get your own equipment, then obviously you will have to invest. That is like a laptop or a controller. So I treat my job very professionally. For me, it is my job. I'm very passionate about it, but it is also my job. I'm making a living out of it. So I have to be as professional as one can be. Newcomers also have this notion that being a DJ, you have to be playing to 1,000 people. No. It doesn't work that way. Everybody has worked hard to reach to that position or that place where you're playing to those 1,000 people. There are times where all of us have played at clubs where there are 10 people. Sometimes there are only 50 people in a club, right? But I'm booked to play there as an artist, and my job is to entertain those 50 people. Just because there are no 500 people doesn't mean I walk off. I'm being paid for this job, and my job is to entertain those 50 people. I will entertain those 50 people, and I will give it my all as much as I would have when there were 500 people in a club, 250 people in a club. That's the point. And a lot of people don't realize this because they look at it from a glamour perspective. And I think that is where a lot of people go wrong. The minute you look at being a DJ as a glamorous profession, that is where you fall. As an artist, that's not where you should get carried away with. In India, I think it's still frowned upon. A lot of people still shun away from it or have a stereotypical way of treating a DJ. अरे ये तो गाना बजाता है, band वाला है. Like that's, and I'm telling you, I still notice it. At the end of the day, I'm being honest with my job and I'm doing my job. I'm there to entertain people. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing at that particular point of time. And the only thing I expect from you is the respect. So don't mistreat people.
Oh God, this is actually very amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this. Just want to ask one last question. So what inspires you? Why the Finding Why theme? Why are you a disc jockey and a karaoke jockey?
Because I enjoy it. I think it's as simple as that. I love performing. I think I'm made to be on stage. If you're not passionate about something, I don't think you'd be able to give it your 100%. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayuri. I had a great time.
Same.
Yeah, I had a great time conversing about this. I really hope people, learn or kind of accept what you're covering across your channels, right? Because I think it's so important for the society as a whole to start accepting alternate careers and remember that each career, people do it because they enjoy it, right? And they're still making a living out of it. I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had a great time as well. Thank you so much.
So this is the first shoot जिसमें हमने एक भी मतलब cut नहीं किया for the actual disturbances because we're so engrossed in conversation, right, Sachin?